You read the Bible, but did you really read the Bible? Because there are things in the Bible that most Christians just gloss over or don't even know about. So let me ask you this. Have you ever read the book of Acts and noticed something interesting about the people that were healed by Peter and John? You see, when Peter laid hands on the lame man at the gate called Beautiful, what do you think was the first thing that happened? Some people might say, well, he was healed immediately. But that wasn't the first thing that happened. The first thing that happened was the people were amazed. And they said, hey, look, this guy's a miracle worker. This guy is a miracle worker. And you have to understand that the reason why they said that was because it was not an everyday occurrence to see someone walking who had been lame from birth. Now, I want to connect this to something that we're going to read in Revelation. Because when John saw the risen Christ in all of his majesty and glory, what was the first thing he did? He fell at his feet like a dead man. But then Jesus reached over, took hold of him, and said, "Don't be afraid. I am the first and the last, and the living one. I was dead, but now I am alive forevermore. And I have the keys of death and hell." So, John saw something amazing. He saw the resurrected Christ. But the people that saw the lame man walk, they also saw something amazing. So, what am I getting at with these two stories? What I'm getting at is this. When John saw Jesus in his glory, it says that he fell down as if he were dead. And the people that saw the lame man walk also fell down in amazement, as if they were dead. In other words, when you see something that is supernaturally amazing, your natural response is to fall down and worship. And this brings us to the main point of the video. If you really read the Bible, you would have seen this pattern 66 times. Because 66 times in the Bible, whenever someone saw something that was supernaturally amazing, their response was to fall down and worship. It doesn't matter if it was Elisha or Isaiah or John the Apostle. When they saw something that was supernaturally amazing, their response was to fall down and worship. But when we read the Bible, we kind of just gloss over that truth. And we start to think that, well, this is normal. Like, no, this is not normal. What you just said is not normal. For 2,000 years, God has only called out 66 people in the Bible to fall down and worship. That should make you feel very small. That should make you feel very humbled. If you've seen 1,000 sunrises, how many times have you fallen down and worshiped? If you've seen 1,000 acts of kindness, how many times have you fallen down and worshiped? If you've seen 1,000 answers to prayer, how many times have you fallen down and worshiped? Let me tell you something for those of you that are watching this right now. If you've never fallen down and worship, then you've missed the Bible. You've read the Bible, but you've missed this one major truth, that the Bible is full of people falling down and worshiping God. God wants to take you beyond just knowing the Word. God wants to take you to the place where you actually live the Word. Because if you live the Word, you will be a living testament of what God can do. People will look at your life and say, hey, look, that person is a miracle worker. That person is a miracle worker. So my question for you is this. Are you just going to read the Bible, or are you going to live the Bible? Because if you live the Bible, you will see things in the Bible in a different way. You'll see things through the eyes of John, through the eyes of Isaiah, through the eyes of David. And you may be sitting there right now thinking, I can't do that. I'm just an ordinary person. Remember, these men that fell down and worshiped God, they were ordinary men. They weren't perfect. They weren't religious. They were just ordinary people. And yet God chose to highlight their faith because he wanted the world to see what God could do through ordinary people. So I want to ask you again, are you going to just read the Bible, or are you going to live the Bible? Are you going to fall down and worship God? If you haven't already done so, I invite you to subscribe. Let's do this thing together. Until next time, I love you guys. Peace.